Welcome back. We have some very sad breaking entertainment news to share with you. TMZ is reporting that Malcolm-Jamal Warner, probably best known for his role on The Cosby Show, has died. People reports that the 54-year-old was in Costa Rica on a family vacation and accidentally drowned while swimming.
Stunning death of actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Breaking entertainment news, Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, dead at the age of 54 on a drowning accident.
The heartbreaking news of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's tragic death has shook the internet. New information has come out that is telling a different story, one that's got fans questioning everything.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So excuse my look today. I was actually about to start, doing my evening and nighttime task around my house because my day's over. But I wasn't going to make a video, and it's still not going to be like my normal regular videos. It's going to be just me running some TikToks without me sitting on the side of it. I got some updates and some confirmations and some different things on the Malcolm-Jamal Warner case, Theo Huxtable, in case anybody didn't know. And I just was like, and I needed to just share it. And my next video has enough stuff in it that it would throw too much time on it. So I'm like, let me throw up a quick video just in regards to him and the things that I found out. If you watched my live earlier, I need to do another eye patch, but my bags are getting a little better. I need another one though because I'm a little tired. But I'm not going to hold y'all, so go get whatever you need to watch this content. Oh, and you're going to hear about something called Event 201. I have my laptop right here, so I'm reading from there. Event 201 happened at Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security in partnership with the World Economic Forum. It took place on October 18, 2019, and it was basically a simulated event for the virus that we all had to endure. So, yeah. And remember the number's 201. So let's get to the content. Without any further ado, let's go.
The art of being black is often an acrobatic act in defending black humanity in a world that worships a pale, long-haired Anglo-Saxon savior, even though the Bible clearly describes him as a bronze-skinned, woolly-haired Hebrew.
Good morning, TikTok. Get your tinfoil cap out for this one, okay? Because you're going to need it. You guys, I've told you, some of you are new, though, that I've been studying the occult and its practices for over 15 years now. I'm with an organization of over 300 people that we do that, okay? I've listened to and conducted hundreds of interviews I've listened to and conducted. I've watched a bunch of videos and interviews. I've read books. I've done a lot, okay? There's no academic credentials you can have really for it, to studying the occult. So, I don't have any of that, but, and I'm not going to be so arrogant as to say I'm an expert in the field, but, you could probably say that, actually. Okay, I know a whole lot, all right? And I don't make any of this shit up. Now, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, that was a drowning ritual, okay? It's very common. Just like Whitney Houston and her daughter, both drowning rituals, both sacrifices, both ordered by Clive Davis. Aaron Carter, drowning ritual. Brittany Murphy, drowning ritual. Jim Morrison, drowning ritual. If you're found in a bathtub and you're a superstar or a celebrity and there's drugs in your system, you didn't just drown accidentally. That was a drowning ritual. Okay. Now this was a 201 ritual with Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Okay, just follow me here. July 18th is the 201st day of the year. This is a 201 Babylonian ritual. Look up the 201 event 201. Look that up. It's going to blow your mind. It's all related. Event 201. July 20th is the day he died. That is the 201st day of the year. Okay? Now, event 201 that I talked about, because it's all related, began on October 18th. Follow me. Malcolm-Jamal Warner released his book on October 18th, purposely. Now, also, The Cosby Show, the only thing he's really known for, really, had exactly 201 episodes. Look it up. Okay? So that's what this is. This was a 201 ritual. That wasn't an accident. Okay? That was not an accident. Not at all. That was ordered. Okay? And I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, so I know about Event 201. I was gonna make a video a little bit ago. I didn't because it's kind of controversial, obviously. But if you don't know what Event 201 is, it was essentially a global simulation put on by Johns Hopkins in New York. I want to say late September 2019. Simulating what would happen if there was a global pandemic because of a coronavirus. And the simulation actually got us to exactly where we are right now. Everything's looking pretty fucking similar. And this happened before the alleged start of the coronavirus. And months later, Bill Gates, who was obviously a part of it, denies that they had any kind of testing or preparation for the coronavirus, even though they did this event. Like, he denied the event. So, draw your own conclusions, but I hate that.
It was just regular. It was regular. And for them to be able to follow Malcolm-Jamal all the way to the airport, like, it's like they got him going into the actual, like, and it is like commercial.
Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to how intrusive that is, to how careful that is. He wasn't on his way to film a movie. He wasn't on his way to go do anything. He was going on a regular flight. This wasn't a nothing. This is nothing that paparazzi should have been involved in. But then again, neither was Javon Hadley's case. Javon Hadley's case was not a case that should have been being followed by paparazzi at all. But as we're starting to learn and as we're starting to see, there's a lot more of that involved than we might want to believe. So
remember, pay attention, y'all. They have to let us know first before they can do anything to us. That's heavenly rules, right? That's how God laid it out for these little demon mother. They can't with us without letting us know that they're about to with us.
I was kind of going through a period. I was having a struggle with hopelessness.
Oh, okay.
And it was just really, the world is in a dark place.
Yeah.
Why did Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who was rescued by onlookers, die after receiving treatment from the Red Cross?
Then let's go to the date he actually died on, which is July 20th, which is the 201st day of the year. Yeah, can anybody tell me why The Cosby Show ran for a total of 8 seasons, equaling 201 episodes?
They're gonna come for you. You're too clean for this game. That's what Eddie Griffin told Malcolm-Jamal Warner, not in an interview, in private. It was a warning from a real friend. And now Malcolm's dead, drowned in the ocean while on vacation in Costa Rica. But the way the story flipped around, it's sketchy as hell. First they said he died saving his daughter. That version was everywhere. Headlines, social media, all of it. It was literally Us Weekly that claimed that Malcolm was trying to save his daughter from riptide before he drowned. But suddenly the story changed, and now they're saying Malcolm's daughter wasn't even in the water with him when he drowned. And then what's also suspicious is that Malcolm's wife wasn't with him that day, but we're supposed to believe Malcolm took his 8-year-old daughter to swim on a dangerous beach with no lifeguard presence and warning signs everywhere. And if the daughter wasn't in the water like they're saying now, then it means she was alone on the beach while Malcolm was swimming. Even in his final interview, shortly before his death, Malcolm talked about how his wife and daughter were his whole world.
I met my wife through a mutual friend. I've never second-guessed it. We've been together almost 10 years, and we have never had a fight, an argument, a raised voice, or a harsh word said to me.
In 10 years?
I was like, if I'm going to have a kid, this is the person that I would want to have it with. I talk about them because
there are obviously the hugest parts of my life, the best parts of my life, the best decisions I've ever made.
So what really happened on that beach in Costa Rica? Because Eddie Griffin wasn't trying to warn Malcolm for no reason. He's been in this industry long enough to know how they operate. He knew what kind of target Malcolm had on his back. A black man in Hollywood with no scandals, no handlers, no self-destruction storyline, someone who was actively speaking out against the system and trying to be a positive role model for black boys. Yeah, they don't like that.
He says, the thing about a black boy is you don't necessarily want to beat a black boy. What you want to do is you want to love him so divinely. You want to love him so fiercely that your disappointment will kill him. You want to adore him so much that the last thing he wants to do is disappoint you.
And Malcolm never played the Hollywood game. He kept to himself, worked on his own terms, and turned down the clown roles. He was quiet, but he was watching, reconnecting with people like Dave Chappelle and Mos Def, other folks who also walked away from the machine. And that's when Eddie started pulling him aside and saying things like they'll get you if you stay clean. They don't like clean.
There's no criminal charge.
There is a systematic effort to destroy every black male entertainer's image. Nobody leaves this business clean.
For some reason, there were no lifeguards on duty that day. The local volunteer lifeguard association admitted the beach was basically unpatrolled because of resource limits. However, there are warning signs all up and down the beach, warning of drowning risk.
So this is the beach where all this unfolded, but really, as soon as you get here, even before you get onto the beachhead, you can see some warning signs for people who are coming to enjoy the day here. It says Corrientes de Resaca todo el año. Basically warning people there is a current here throughout the year. You can see there are warnings for surfers, there's warnings about wave conditions, and then take a look at this massive sign says you can survive a rip current. Clearly, they're warning people about the conditions that can develop, and unfortunately, the conditions appear to have pulled out Malcolm-Jamal Warner over the weekend.
So let's think about it. They first spin a tragic rescue narrative with Malcolm's daughter, then they scrub it entirely, then go silent. Meanwhile, the location is a known death trap with nobody watching and clear signs telling people not to swim. These are all major red flags, and if this was truly just an accident, why does the story keep changing? Why did they let everyone think Malcolm's daughter almost drowned with him until it didn't suit the story? And why no official press conference or any footage of the aftermath? Well, knowing how Eddie Griffin warned Malcolm about staying too clean for this game, how they'll come for you if you don't sell out, it starts to look like someone anticipated how this would play out, and now it has. Now you might be wondering, why would they want to take Malcolm out? Well, Malcolm wasn't like your typical Hollywood celeb. He didn't play any industry games, and he refused to put on a dress and accept humiliating roles. But Malcolm didn't stay silent either. He openly called out the system and claimed white producers and studio executives push black actors into humiliating roles. In 2021, Malcolm wrote an op-ed for the Television Academy where he said that white network and studio executives, white writers, producers, and white directors are the gatekeepers of black images on television. Malcolm wrote, during the cycles where the gate hinges loosen slightly and black creatives are given some input and illusion of control, the stereotypes often continue, even if the black characters are given professions and higher socioeconomic status.
Me and Eddie really did not get along.
In real life?
In real life.
I did not know this.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
we didn't get, but every single week before taping, we'd come together, we'd put our hands together, we'd bow, and we'd pray before we go out there.
Two warriors who couldn't stand each other, praying together before battle. Every week for 4 years, Malcolm-Jamal Warner and Eddie Griffin put aside their personal differences to fight a war most people didn't even know was happening.
There is a systematic effort to destroy every black male entertainer's image. They want us all to have an actress by name.
For over a decade, Eddie Griffin has been screaming about Hollywood's war against black men who refuse to submit.
Whatever happened to integrity, man, huh? How many brothers gotta wear my...
Eddie exposed the systematic emasculation program, but nothing he predicted could have prepared him for what happened to his former co-star on July 20th, 2025.
The actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner, widely known for starring in the hit TV sitcom The Cosby Show, has died.
When Eddie Griffin heard his old co-star was dead, he didn't post some generic RIP message. He dropped a bombshell on Instagram that exposed exactly what killed Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
The actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner, widely known for starring in the hit TV sitcom The Cosby Show, has died.
He wrote, "My heart is heavy today, for what the world lost was a father, a son, a poet, a musician, an actor, a teacher, a writer, a director, a friend, a warrior that I had the pleasure of going to war with against the Hollywood machine and sometimes with each other because that's what brothers do. But the love was and is always there. That's not the language you use for show business disputes. That's military terminology. That's what you say when someone dies fighting an enemy. The war started during Malcolm and Eddie. Both men thought they were getting a platform to create positive black entertainment. Instead, they walked into a battlefield where every script was a fight. Every episode was resistance against a system designed to make them perform like trained monkeys.
So it was, for me, it was like going from a top university to junior college. Because I'm saying, look, we can actually be funny without doing the stereotypical stuff. And no one was really interested in that route. They're like, we didn't bring you over here for that. This is what we do.
Malcolm wasn't describing creative differences. He was describing psychological warfare. They took America's favorite TV son and tried to force him to degrade himself for their entertainment. When he refused, the machine turned against him.
Even though we were at odds, what we both understood is we get to 100 episodes, we're going to have a sweet vacation deal. Ultimately, they cut us at 88. Because they were tired of me fighting with the writers, and then they were tired of Eddie's shenanigans.
88 episodes, just 12 away from generational wealth through syndication. They killed the show because Malcolm and Eddie wouldn't stay in their place. The machine doesn't just control your image, it controls your money, your future, your ability to build independent wealth. That's when both men learned the rules of engagement. You can fight, but you can't win. You can resist, but there's always a bigger weapon they can deploy. And if you become too dangerous, if you start exposing too much truth, the machine has a final solution. Eddie Griffin has been screaming about Hollywood's systematic destruction of black men aren't paranoid. They're pattern recognition experts who understand that in an industry where Diddy faces federal charges for decades of systematic abuse, where Jeffrey Epstein connections run deep through entertainment circles, where corruption is finally being exposed at the highest levels, the death of a credible witness is never really accidental. Malcolm-Jamal Warner didn't die in a swimming accident. He was eliminated because he had become too dangerous to the machine he and Eddie had been fighting their entire careers. His final Instagram poetry about psychological warfare, his podcast challenging racial stereotypes, his interviews connecting entertainment racism to broader systematic oppression. All of it threatened the narrative control that keeps the machine running. Eddie Griffin's immediate, uncompromising tribute serves as both obituary and battle cry. By calling Malcolm a warrior who died fighting the Hollywood machine, he was confirming what many suspected but few dared say. The war is real, the casualties are mounting, and the machine will eliminate anyone who threatens its control over black minds and black narratives. In the end, Malcolm-Jamal Warner's death proves Eddie Griffin's most chilling prediction. In Hollywood's systematic war against conscious black entertainers, nobody leaves this business clean, and the truth-tellers who refuse to stay silent don't get to leave at all. The machine claimed another warrior, but Eddie's confirmation ensures that Malcolm's death won't be forgotten or dismissed as another tragic accident. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.
Welcome back. We have some very sad breaking entertainment news to share with you. TMZ is reporting that Malcolm-Jamal Warner, probably best known for his role on The Cosby Show, has died. People reports that the 54-year-old was in Costa Rica on a family vacation and accidentally drowned while swimming.
Stunning death of actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Breaking entertainment news, Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, dead at the age of 54 on a drowning accident.
The heartbreaking news of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's tragic death has shook the internet. New information has come out that is telling a different story, one that's got fans questioning everything we thought we knew. Now, initial reports called it a freak accident, but behind the scenes, the family has been fighting to keep certain details from being buried, and now they're done staying quiet. There's now information that's come forward with chilling claims that Malcolm didn't just pass away, that he may have been targeted, and the timing of it all is just too convenient. We're talking cryptic warnings he reportedly gave just days before it happened. According to reports, this wasn't random. It was calculated, and the truth about what really happened is about to crack wide open. We'll lay out the story, but you tell us what you believe in the comments. Malcolm-Jamal Warner's sudden passing left a lot of people stunned, especially because there were no warning signs at all. The official story was that he drowned while swimming at Clay Beach in Costa Rica during a family vacation. Now, that beach is known to have rough waters, strong undercurrents, and reports claim that those same dangerous conditions were present the day that Malcolm went swimming. And according to local authorities, bystanders tried to help when they saw him struggling. But by the time Costa Rica's Red Cross got to the scene, it was already too late. He was found unresponsive and shortly after declared dead. Police were quick to shut down any rumors of foul play, saying it was a tragic accident and nothing more. But here's where things start to get murky, because while the public was still trying to process the news, those closest to Malcolm were already raising questions. Multiple sources say that his family doesn't believe the official story. Allegedly, they reported that details weren't adding up. And behind the scenes, they've been quiet, pushing for answers because something about how it all unfolded has them convinced that it wasn't just some freak accident. It had to be something deeper. But what really has people feeling sus is how little information has really actually come out, especially witnesses. Clay's Beach isn't some hidden, deserted place. It's a popular public spot. On any given day, you'll find plenty of tourists, locals, and beachgoers all over the area. So the fact that not a single photo, video, or detailed eyewitness account has surfaced, that's setting off a lot of alarms. Now, sure, most people would agree it's disrespectful to record someone in their final moments, and in a perfect world, folks would know when to put the phone down. But let's be honest, when has the internet ever followed that rule? Especially when a celebrity is involved. Whether it's out of shock, clout chasing, or curiosity, someone usually hits record. So for there to be absolutely nothing, not even a blurry clip, a beachgoer's post, or a secondhand account of what went down, or someone trying to save him, yeah, it's not just strange, it's suspicious. And for Malcolm's fans and family, it's becoming harder and harder to accept that this was just a tragic accident with no strings attached. But what really has people raising eyebrows is the fact that there were 0 lifeguards on duty when Malcolm drowned. The Caribbean Guard later claimed that there weren't any lifeguards because of resource issues. But here's the thing, they also admitted that the beach had been on their radar for years because of how dangerous it is. So why weren't they patrolling that day? Why weren't there any signs that there's no swimming allowed? And right after the news broke, they put out a statement saying that they were now redirecting resources back to that same beach, plus another one known for strong currents. So yeah, it's not hard to see why folks aren't buying this timing, the excuses. And then just days later, she was gone. Whether it's a coincidence or something sinister, people are definitely starting to connect the dots. And fans are starting to believe that these theories and stories aren't just coincidences. To them, they seem like a pattern. One that shows exactly what happens when someone steps outside the box or refuses to play the industry's games. And what makes Malcolm's case even more striking is how different his career path was. Unlike a lot of former child stars, he didn't spiral or chase headlines. He kept his life quiet, focused on meaningful work, and stayed clear of messy drama. Over time, he shifted from sitcoms to spoken word and started creating content that hit deeper, talking openly about his mass incarceration and cultural erasure and what it really means to exist as a black man in America. It wasn't about staying relevant, it was about telling the truth, and according to his family, that's exactly what made him a threat. This is exactly why his family doesn't believe that this was just some random accident. Could it be that this isn't just about Malcolm, that it's about a disturbing pattern? Was his death a part of a bigger picture of where outspoken black voices seem to face sudden tragedy the moment their influence starts to shift the culture? This has everybody on edge. Malcolm wasn't just out here chasing attention. He had a clean reputation, a growing platform, and a powerful message, and a long history of excellent acting and speaking, especially in that final podcast. And fans believe he was on the verge of something bigger, and that's when everything went left. So now the question is, was this really a tragic accident, or was Malcolm-Jamal Warner silenced just as he started to speak too loudly? Well, his family isn't backing down. The podcast, the missing timeline, the whispers of private investigations, none of it's going away. And if there's one thing that we've learned, it's when families start digging, secrets don't stay buried for long, because that doesn't feel like closure. It feels like a warning. And something tells me that this story is just getting started. R.I.P. to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Drop your thoughts and comments below, and then check out this next video.